I have a, 15-minute rated game on the board. So I just started playing Rapid again today, a little bit. I had one draw where my opponent stalemated me, and then one win in the Steinitz version of the Scotch, which I absolutely love. I'm absolutely adoring this. Okay, we have Vienna Gambit accepted. Super duper. Okay, so knight should go back there. Queen here, I think, is an inaccuracy. And there really is no other move on the board. This is going to be played. If the knight goes back, you absolutely have to play knight f3 to prevent queen h4 check on the king. So this is worth 4 points if I get it. My opponent's rated 1497. A rating which at one point would have scared the bejesus out of me. I remember going up to, okay, he's done that. So we do the same. So he's basically pinned the pawn, and we unpin by putting our queen there. Now his knight still has to go back. There's still no other option. Knight goes here or here. He just loses the piece. Then we've got maybe queen takes there, but we've won a piece, so who cares? Yeah, I remember when I started out on chess.com playing Blitz and going up to 1200 and just being like, oh no, I'm playing 1200s. You know, but having said that, 1200s playing Blitz can be really, really tricky. Okay, so the general plan here is to push d4, solidify the center, and then win my pawn back. Right? I don't want to be down a pawn. And this guy's now awkward, right? He's played it's like the King's Gambit, you know. In fact, the Vienna Gambit is very similar, right? With this move, it's just that the knights are out on the board. If it had played f4 immediately, that would be the King's Gambit. What the hell is he doing here? So he wants to fianchetto his bishop. His knight is stuck now. His knight can't come out to f6. So I'm thinking d4 just looks totally, totally normal. I have a slight time advantage already. My opponent's down to 13 minutes. I'm on 14:25 because I know what I'm doing. Okay, he's put his bishop there. Should we have the pawn back? Why not? And this is now a very comfortable position. I could even castle long, should I choose to. My h-rook probably wants to come to f1 anyway. Huh. Okay, now let's think. I kind of like takes, because at any point when he takes back, he's going to have an isolated pawn on the d-file, right? If takes, queen takes, I get to develop a bishop for free, and then he recaptures and gets himself an isolated pawn. But then, that kind of, I don't know. Another idea is knight d5. Very, very typical idea in the Vienna. And, oh yeah, no, it has to be knight d5 because the queen now has to defend this, right? But the queen can't stay there. So she has to go here or here. And then you simply take with a discovered check. This can lead to all kinds of pain for black. I'm still ready to castle. Look how far black is away from castling. Okay, so now I can take there, yeah? Take there with check. Also then threatening knight takes there, supported by the pawn. And this is really, really, really disgusting for black. My opponent's called Alejo David. Okay, so he's in check. That doesn't work, because that actually loses the rook, right? This doesn't work. Well, I don't know. Yeah, probably knight blocks is the bet, but I mean, I've got pawn takes, but then he can take mine. No, knight here, and then knight takes c7 check, also forking the rook. Pawn's defended by the bishop. This is just absolutely gross, isn't it, for black? This is almost resignable. So let's just see, have we gone completely kind of with books so far? This is all normal. That one, g6, I'm not sure. d4, yes. Grab the pawn back. And then, yeah, any point this d6... Oh, he's moved the king. He's moved the king. Now, knight takes e7, wins the rook because the rook can't move. Yeah? Yeah. And his rook isn't going to move in 2 turns because he's got to move a pawn and then move the rook. So if he moves the pawn and I take, then he can move the rook out of trouble. So I should probably do that now. But this is what I've been doing. I had 2 lessons yesterday. Very common theme and something that I'm really trying to bring into all lessons, so really pretty much at any level. It's this idea that when you found a good move, look for a better one. And it's a truism in chess. It's been said so many times, but how about this? But this just keeps the pressure on, right? Let's just look at it. If knight there, this is something you can't do playing classical over the board. I mean, black's got nothing, has it? I'm just going to do it. I'll probably... Okay, well, now I just win the rook. Not sure you thought that all the way through, mate. So I'm up a rook and 2 pawns. I'm probably going to castle long, seeing as the king and queen are on there. So what was I saying? Yeah. Look for a better move. Or if nothing, just get into the habit of considering one extra candidate move that you didn't consider before. Now, this actually hits the queen and the bishop. So I'm +7 right now. So trading material is all good. So if I go here, where's the queen going to go? Does she have a check? No, because she's on a light square. So she can't check me. This could be a problem. So knight here would negate any ideas of that, or I could just castle. Or I could play queen here and force a trade of queens. There, queen takes, I take with check, king takes. Do you know what? I'm just going to go straight on, simple, bullheaded. You've got to take, yeah, exactly. Right? Let's not do anything fancy. He's in check. He's got to take, hasn't he? Really? Hasn't he? King can't go there. If he doesn't take, I've got this and defend the pawn. Maybe even drop back and defend the pawn. But I'm going to want to castle. I'm going to want to get this bishop out probably here, because f7's undefended. Oh, I've even got a hanging knight. I've got a hanging knight. I've got a hanging knight, guys. But how? Wait. He moves the bishop. Discovered attack on bishop and knight. Should I just go ahead and castle? Should I save my knight? Decisions. Oh, well, it's a happy situation to be in. I know I'm kind of tempted to castle. This I like because it hits the bishop. I really like to get rid of his bishop. If I do that, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He'll probably go here. Castles make sense. Saving the knight makes sense. I don't have any good checks. I could pin this knight. I'm going to play this. If he brings his rook out to e8, I'm just going to castle long and go on about my day. Yeah, you know what? This d6 move here just looks so natural, but it's absolutely just losing. Anyway, so he's brung out his knight. Makes sense, why not? Should I just take the bish? I'm just going to have the bish. Right, he takes back. I'm just simplifying down. I'm +6. Now it's time to castle, isn't it? Yeah. Knight stacking this. It's defended by my knight. Happy days. Okay, he's got 2 attackers on there. Didn't see that. Fair play. Didn't see it. I could do this. He takes with check. I move here. Is he trapped? He is. He's trapped. If he takes that, I move my king across. And now where do you go? Now where do you go? Hey? One of the hardest things is when you get into a position like this, to keep your foot on his neck. Don't know why it's such a challenge. I'd like to bring my bishop out here. I can't. Okay, now he's given up another piece. So let's take stock. 2 rooks and 3 minors against 1 rook and 2 minors. Okay, his only hope now is somehow to use his bishop. So what I want to do is eliminate the bishop. So the first thing that springs to mind is that. Hit knight and bishop, just simplified down, right? I also would very much like to connect my rooks. I'm going to play this. Don't dick about here, right? What we want to do is convert this position. I'm +6, for goodness sake, right? I'm slightly low on pawns. I've got 3 against 5. So this is, if black's going to win this game, this is what you have to do. The queen's come off the board, you go into an ending, you have to say, right, if, exactly, so he's got the same idea. If he's going to win this game, what has to happen? Well, what has to happen is, he's going to have to, his only advantage now is these 2 passed pawns. So, what do we have to do? Okay, well, I don't have to do that, because that loses the bishop. So I'm thinking maybe I want to put my king on a dark square, do whatever I can to prevent the advance of these pawns. These 2 are now lovely. They're locked in the middle, shutting this guy out the game. He's probably going to want to come here. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean for us? I'm thinking king here. I'm down to 8 minutes. I need to move with intent. This and the pawn can't save itself, right? Wherever it goes, I can take it, yeah? So it means if he wants to save that pawn, he's going to have to defend it. And the only way to defend it would be with the rook. And he can't move the rook there, and he can't move the rook there. So I think that rook b1 should win that pawn. Really nice. This bishop he is there for the duration, mate. He is going nowhere. That is a nice bishop. This doesn't work because of that. Oh, yeah. Don't know. I mean, if this was a high-rated game, my opponent would already have resigned. Okay, so that's good. So he's figured out the same. The only way he can defend it is that. Then he's going to have to move his king there or there. Let's keep the pressure on. Let's do it. Let's do it. King goes here. I've got check with the bishop. King goes here. I'd love to play my rook there and force a trade of rooks. So I might even do that. See, I own this diagonal. It's my diagonal here, right? So I'm not afraid of putting my king here to support rook c1. But also still, I really, really want to connect my rooks. Okay, let's throw in a check. Now you can't go there, 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 there. What you going to do? And if you go there, that ain't good. Because I come like here and win a pawn with a discovered check on the king by the rook. So I had a good sleep last night. So I felt like playing a couple of rapid games and got myself some points, 1670. It's my highest ever rating. Christina's also in the 1600s, one of our other coaches. James, I think, said he slipped down from 1800 and then regained some rating. Okay, my rooks are now connected, so I'm happy about this. I could attack the rook. Yeah, let's... Well, this takes... That's just not in my interest. Got knight here. Attack this pawn. I don't see how we can defend that. Or I may just centralise my rook. Let's put my rook on an open file. Makes perfect sense. This is not a problem because I can play rook here. X-ray defending g2. It's not a bad idea to put both my rooks on second rank anyway. It doesn't work, mate. We've talked about this. Alejo is not playing his best game today. He's not 100%. Okay, so this is an idea. Attacks this pawn. He can't defend there. He can defend by that. But I'm actually attacking two pawns, so that one's defended by the knight. So this would be a great little move, wouldn't it? Should I put my king here? Think about this. Because that really makes life blooming painful, doesn't it, for my opponent? What's the point of that move? What's he defending there? I'm inclined to play that just to prove a point now. This king has to move. Now, where's he got? He can't go there. Can't go there, there. If I do this, he has to go here. But not if I've already put a rook here. Because that, I think, then would be mate. Would it not? Would it not? I think that's mate. No. Oh, no. No, I'm blocking it with my own thing. Okay. Anyway, so let's do that anyway. So he can go here, but then I go here with a discovered check and win a rook. Good. Feel the hate flow through you. Boom. Boom. Feels it. Now you resign. So where we have to put Mr. Scheibel. You resign now. Okay. Oh, that was good. That was good. And Miko is, yeah. Miko was watching that one. Miko watched my other one as well earlier on. So, yes, mate. So Miko's just over 1,000. And that was good. So I'm going to do a review. Because this is a line that, obviously, I knew up to a certain point. And this D6 move, I think, has to be a mistake. I'm pretty sure of it. I mean, that's... Okay, so I had one inaccuracy in the whole game. And two goods. And one great. Excellent. So let us work through. Yeah, so this is already not fantastic, but it's playable. Best move. That's a mistake. It's not even an inaccuracy, it's a mistake. Okay, and this is the best move. You have to remember this. Knight has to retreat. We play knight f3, but that's not... So is it saying d4 now? But then what if queen here? We move the king. We move the bloody king. Ah, well. The knight f3 is good. Puts me plus 1.7. I mean, that's, at title level, that's winning. Ah, and that, yeah, blunder. And that's inaccurate. Okay, so you go flying in with knight d5. Flying in. Okay, so what we do now, studies, white, Vienna game, right? Pull it up. And now we go Vienna game accepted. Right? Da. And obviously queen e2. Queen e7, sorry. So here I'm going to do forced variation. So there's a couple of options. Knight back to g8 is best. Queen e7 is a variation. And we now I played this, didn't I? No, I didn't. I played queen e2, obviously. Queen e2 is best. Let's stick the fish on. And look at this win rate now. Look at this win rate for white. 74% across the board. Wow. And this, guys, is why we play the Vienna. This is just awesome. Okay, so he has to play knight g8. Been played 19,000 times. f3, hitting the queen. Are you having a laugh? All right, knight g8 anyway. So you see, like most people play knight f3 like me and win 74% of the time. So forget the fish. Forget the fish. Yes, d4 is the fish move, right? But we're not fish, okay? Knight f3 has been played 13,000, d4's been played 4,000. They're both winning. Doesn't really matter. Shut up, fish. Okay, we play that. Now, opponent here, look at this, d6. Been played 5,300 times. That is 38% of the time, and it ain't good. Stick the fish on. d6 just isn't in the top 5 moves, but it looks so natural. d6, bang. Okay, we're going to go blunder. We'll mark that as a blunder. And then what we should do is knight d5, pow. Is that what I played in the game? No, it says this. Okay, so if g6 here, let's do that, okay. So here he plays g6, and that's a blunder as well. That's a thunder blunder, okay. And if g6, it's saying knight d5 anyway, which is what we did, isn't it? g6. No, I played d4. Ah, no, you don't want to play d4. Yeah, I was securing my stuff, and then he... Oh, no. Anyway, so it was all wrong. It was all wrong from black. But, you know, it really goes just pear-shaped when he plays this. Oh, that's inaccurate. But he'd already blundered. He'd already blundered by that point. Okay, and this was absolutely best, okay? So common, so common. Anytime the queen comes to these squares, your knight flies in, target that, and it's all goes horribly wrong from that point. Okay, so I think that's probably enough of the analysis. You know, it's a totally winning position anyway. Don't really matter. Okay, so there you go. Good game. GG Hunty, have to say. And where does that put me? Puts me on. Your new rapid rating is 1674. 1674. I can't even play blitz, right? Let me show you my stats on blitz, right? I'm an absolute suckaholic. 1241. This is my blitz record, right? So since the beginning of 2019, and then I've done super sucky, mega sucky, suckaholic, right? Hitting 1202, hitting 1100s in blitz. Okay. In the last 30 days, oh no, in the last all time I've dropped 1200. But it's just ridiculous. In the last 90 days, 1300, blah blah blah. I just can't improve that quickly, right? And yet in rapid. So this is my capability. This is what I'm capable of. Look at this, man. Look at this. When was that big drop? Yeah, so this is my big drop. Dropped down to the mid 1300s and then shot back up to where I should be, 1600, and then just climb. That's the way to do it. Okay, cool. Anyway, all good stuff. Thank you for watching, everybody. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and see you later.